Hi everyone, I have a new video today. This is my progress on the Ottoman sipahi, the feudal cavalry. I finally completed these two squadrons, and these are from the by fire and sword 15mm range, and I think they turned out pretty well. I think for 15mm they're quite well detailed, pretty well proportioned, and these squads are a mix of armored and unarmored, as probably would have been the case in real life. And you get some nice banners. I'm a big fan of how many flags that you get in these by fire and sword box sets. You know, you get some really nice looking ones. The Polish ones in the other box that I have also look good. I think I've shown those on the channel, older video when I did my by fire and sword unboxing for Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Yeah, these are really nice. This is the command. I think I'm going to use this blue and gold for my command unit, and you get a nice amount for the cavalry. I already used up one of these because I put the banners on the two Gonulu, the shock cavalry that I've shown before. But today I finished painting the unit commands, so gave them their banners, put them all together, and I think both squads look good. I think they're looking good. And I've said it in previous videos, but I'm starting to become more and more of a fan of these 15mm because I can paint these really quickly, especially because when I'm, especially in these times where I've got a lot to deal with in my real, kind of work. It's nice that I can sit down like on a Sunday evening like this, and I can finish like two bases basically, and have something done, because 28mm sometimes they're just more time consuming. They're bigger figures, but these I think I like. I had kind of been put off by the 15mm stuff because I was painting Flames of War, which I don't think is the same like 15mm. I think the Battlefront scale is 1/72, which is close but not the same. And I know there's variation between manufacturers, so but I kind of got annoyed with painting Flames of War stuff, especially the infantry, because my Flames of War collection is mostly infantry. I have a British Army. It's mostly infantry instead of vehicles, because I guess I just like infantry more. But anyway, but these I like more because, and I think especially with Wargaming Ottoman stuff, because some of these battles had really large numbers deployed on both sides. I think the 15mm would be better at replicating the, kind of the size of these battles. Although, I still like 28mm, of course. Just planning ahead for if I can run maybe this year or next year, if I can get to a convention and run a convention game doing something Ottoman related. I think that would be a lot of fun, and so I'm trying to make that a goal. And I think if I get more of these by fire and sword figures, or more kind of 15mm stuff in general, it'll make building up armies for that a lot easier and more manageable than trying to make two big 28mm armies. But we'll see. I mean, that's just an idea. I had certain hobby goals I set this year. I made a video about it that I went totally in a different direction. So these things happen. But I think there is something good in just setting a goal, even if you don't achieve it, because it gives you a project, a mission to do. I had kind of been off the painting wagon lately, just because I mentioned in a previous video I'm at kind of a crunch time in my real work, finishing a thesis and having to prepare to go back to the U.S. Hopefully soon, and then starting a PhD program. So that's a lot going on. But yesterday I made a trip to the old city in Istanbul. I saw Sultan Bayezid II's tomb, which is very nice. I posted some pictures on the community tab for the channel if you'd like to look. You know, sometimes I think about making more travel-oriented videos, but I'm just not really comfortable filming here in public, and it's not because of any kind of you know, like something will happen. It's purely personal. It's just I'm not really super comfortable being like a guy going around talking to himself with a camera, with a phone, you know, out filming. It's just totally personal. You know. Anyway, kind of a tangent, but yeah. So, maybe I'll do one more little. I'll do another little. These are the cavalry. Yeah, I think they look halfway decent. You know, the basing I think I could improve on. I tried to mix like the paint with this model railroad gravel that I bought, thinking I could like paint the gravel brown that way, but it just clumped up. The paint and the gravel just kind of made a clump, and it didn't really work. So I think I'm gonna have to go back to find a different way in the future. And the other issue I had was gluing the banners to these guys' hands is really tough, and I know they're, you know, it's 15mm figures, so the hands are only going to be so big, but getting it to settle into the palm is tough. I am glad it's just kind of like an open hand, but yeah, that is an issue. Another issue I had with putting these together was, so these by Fire and Sword box sets are designed to be fielded for their rules. Of course, you can use it for any rules really, but I was worried I kind of messed up the count on the figures per unit, and I was going to end up with like an odd number. But I sorted it out, and I figured out I needed, you know, 2 plus the flag bearer per you know, one base like this of 2 rider and a you know, banner standard bearer, because the sets themselves don't give you a lot of instruction on that. So I'll show this. You know, it shows that the picture is like this, but I'm not sure if this is like supposed to be a literal depiction of what the unit is supposed to look like, because we've got two, you know, we've got like 2 bases. You know, I guess that would be like 2 bases according to this, and then, but I've got a third, so I don't know. I'm not really sure. That's and maybe I goofed or something. I'm not really going to worry about it, just because, you know, even if I play the by Fire and Sword rules, I'm sure I can find a way to make it work. You know, I'm probably going to use these for a few different rule sets. Anyway, so yeah, just a small, another thing that I think, if they're coming out with a second edition of the rules, so maybe they could just post something on their website, or maybe make a insert in the box that tells you like how many figures are going, or bases go per unit. That would be helpful. But small complaint. I mean, like I said, you know, I'm planning to use these figures for multiple systems, which is the good thing about historical war games. And then the rest of the stuff here, this is the unit of cavalry with lances. So I left the lances and the shields off for now, because these are the shields. But I'm hoping I can get these painted. If I can get all of the Ottomans painted, that would be soon. That would be great. It would be kind of fun to say I painted all of them actually in Turkey. That would be, but you know, we'll see what happens. And then we also have the command unit here. I got to get these primed up. And I think once this is all put together, it'll be a nice looking force. And then I can slowly expand on it. I think I'm going to need to get some Janissaries because, you know, I mean, it's an Ottoman army. You got to have some Janissaries in there. So, yeah. And then I've got plenty to do because I've got, this is just some of the Polish-Lithuanian stuff. We've got the infantry, got two packs of infantry actually, so this will make a pretty nice line of infantry. Got some Panzernis, these were Lithuanian cavalry. No, these are, Panzerni were Polish, and then we've got these Piechotyncy, which are from the were from the Grand Duchy of Lithuania, another type of cavalry. I think they'll look good. And then I've got the whole Polish skirmish box set that I've shown on the channel before. So I think when I can get both armies on the table and maybe playing some kind of game, I think it'll look really nice. And I'm especially because I really want to make a convention game soon, because I just really like to show people at a convention, you know, this kind of Eastern European, you know, Eurasian type warfare, especially in the Renaissance period. You know, it's something different. It's not, you know, it's not English Civil War. It's not, you know, it's not like the late medieval, like War of the Roses type stuff. You know, it's different, or it's not 30 Years' War. It's something different, and you know, I think it would just be fun to have that, be able to show people that stuff, especially because these kind of battles, especially with the Ottomans, you know, like you kind of hear about them, or you know, it's like the one battle. Maybe I've even complained about this on the channel before. You know, like the way the wars with the Ottomans are depicted, it's like the one engagement and then the rest of the war gets kind of like not discussed. I mean, the Lepanto is a good example. I mean, Lepanto was hugely important, big victory for the Christian coalition. I mean, there's no question about it, but I mean, there was a whole other war that was, you know, there was the Ottomans laid siege to Crete. I mean, it was really brutal fighting on Crete itself. You know, there was more kind of action after Lepanto that was really fascinating. You know, there's a lot of stuff here, but it just doesn't really get, people don't really know about it, I think. And even as I've gone forward, kind of my real kind of work, not a lot of scholars actually have touched it, unfortunately. So that's what I like to do if I can just get people to look at this part of the world, and kind of this era of maybe, you know, 1400 to 1700. Yeah, that's all I want to do with my kind of YouTube, because there's just so many countries. I mean, there's so many interesting nations to war game, so many battles. You know, you've got a lot of really interesting empires. I mean, you've got the Ottomans, of course. You've got the Habsburgs in the east. You've got the Muscovy, which is another state. Poland, Lithuania. You've got the Crimean, and then you've got other groups that are also really neat that weren't really that were kind of on the margins, but still important. You got the Tatars in Crimea. You have the Cossacks. You know, they were on the frontier, but they were also really important militarily, and you know, they fought in this Renaissance period as well. So and even further afield that people don't know that much about is Persia. The Safavid dynasty in Persia, especially in the 17th century, was really dominant, actually. I mean, probably one of the wealthiest states in the world at the time, especially if you think about all the problems, you know, the Europe and the Ottoman world were having with warfare and plagues. You know, the Safavid dynasty in Persia was really dominant. You know, it was kind of their golden age in some ways. But anyway, I guess if you made it this far with me, thank you. Thank you for listening to my my video. I hope I can have more of these guys painted and more to show you soon. So thank you for watching, and you know, when you guys comment and stuff, and it's really helps me motivate me to paint, and you know, thank you guys. So I'll talk to you in the next one.